This is a Planet Vero production for Evergreen Media. And now it's time to put you on the spot with EGM.
Hello and welcome to On the Spot with EGM. My name is Jesse Krisky, and today we're talking about United Way. You know, the Treasure Coast and especially Vero Beach is a very philanthropic area. And to kind of discuss everything that United Way does, joining us today is Jessica Schmitt. Hi, Jessica. How are you?
Hi, I'm great. Thanks for having me.
All right. Very good. It's great to have you here. Now, can you tell us a little bit about the United Way and what United Way does?
Sure. United Way's mission is to mobilize the caring power of the community. We envision a world where all individuals and families can achieve their potential through education, financial stability, and access to health care. So we fund many partner agencies who are working towards those areas, and we have some direct service programs as well that not everybody knows about.
Okay. So, all right. So let's talk about some of those areas that not everybody knows about.
Well, we just wrapped up our VITA program, which is Volunteer Income Tax Assistance.
Okay.
And that helps individuals making $60,000 or less prepare their tax returns. It saves the community over $300,000 in those fees to prepare the taxes, and it brings well over $1 million back to the community through tax returns and tax credits. So it's a really valuable service to the community that is hosted and delivered by United Way.
Yeah, and I can attest to that fact. I've used the VITA program myself. Yeah, it's very helpful.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do my own taxes.
Who does? Yeah. If you're not an accountant.
Yeah, so these VITA volunteers, they do know how to do taxes, and they're very helpful in when it comes to tax time. And so, all right, so United Way, we've got the VITA program, but we've also got the Close the Gap program, right? That's what's coming up?
So that's what we're working on now. All year long, we're running our annual campaign, and that raises the money that we help deliver VITA, but also to our key program is to fund our partner agencies who are working with the ALICE population, that's asset limited, income constricted, employed. That's the working folks who maybe are one paycheck away or one emergency away from poverty.
Yeah.
So they're working in the areas of education, financial stability, and health. And so our goal is to raise $2.5 million, and that goes both towards our operations and programs, but mainly towards these funded partners. The ask increased 30% this year, and our budget hasn't increased that much. So Close the Gap is to help us get us closer to our goal of $2.5 million to meet all those funding initiatives.
Okay, that's awesome. So United Way helps out lots of different programs and services. And so the Close the Gap kind of helps close the gap between the money you need and the money you're looking for to help these services around the area.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're not quite close to goal, and our campaign runs July 1st through June 30th. So this is our last push to help meet that goal. So we don't we have to make some funding cuts, but we don't want to make as significant. We want to get closer to that goal and then increase next year. So Close the Gap is to rally the community around this funding initiative and help our partner agencies and our community meet our goals and succeed.
Okay, very good. And so what programs and services does United Way support?
Our funded partners work towards education, financial stability, and healthy outcomes. So it's a lot of youth development programs after school, such as Boys and Girls Clubs, Big Brothers, Big Sisters. Financial stability, I was the executive director before I was here at United Way with literacy services, and we were a funded partner. And I really saw how key United Way was there with a smaller budget. It was like 10% of our budget. So the funded partners really rely on United Way, so we want to be there for them. In healthy outcomes, there's Treasure Coast Community Health, mental health services, you name it, working to help meet the needs of the community, which are ever growing, especially coming out of COVID and with inflation. So that's why our asks have increased from our agencies, and we want to help meet their needs.
Yeah, and the population has increased too.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
That's part of it too.
And so we've got more people than ever. We've got more people needing United Way's services more than ever. And the funding has really stayed even, right?
Yeah, just about stayed even.
Yeah. So United Way really needs your help out there, people. United Way needs your help. Now, Jessica, how is funding decided?
That's a really neat process. It was March to April this year. It's called the Citizens Review Panel.
Okay.
And we involve lots of community volunteers. You don't need to be a donor to volunteer. That's what's unique. But you do need to be local. It's local dollars, local volunteers, and local funding. So they review the governance, finance, and program outcomes of each partner agency, and then they make recommendations to the Community Impact Committee. Then that goes to the board, and the board makes those final decisions based upon all those volunteers' recommendations. And everybody took the process so seriously and was really engaged in reviewing these applications. Had to make some hard decisions, but really learned a lot about all the services in the community, the needs, and how we're meeting them.
Okay, very good. So these programs that are benefiting from United Way, they're highly vetted. You guys go through and you check the books and make sure these programs are on the up and up. And
our
really
donors can rest assured that their investment is well researched and put to good use. They make the decisions based upon the organizations making the biggest impact in the areas of education, financial stability, and health.
Okay, very good. Now, these programs that United Way helps, why should donors give to United Way instead of directly giving to the funded programs?
Well, I wouldn't say instead. If you have an agency or a program or organization that you feel passionate about, we certainly encourage you to donate.
Okay.
But if you don't, or if you have additional resources, United Way is a great way to make the highest and best use of that donation, because the vetting is done for you. Your dollar goes further because it's pooled with our workplace campaigns, our individual donors. And that all maximizes the investment to serve whole families, from kids in the youth program to parents accessing health care or employment training programs. So the dollar really spreads across that whole family more effectively. Okay,
great. Well said. It maximizes the investment. And so we've got this gap to close. We've got the gap between the money we need and the money we've got. What happens if United Way doesn't close that gap in time?
I mentioned those hard decisions. We do have to scale back on some of the funding we offer to our partner agencies. And as a former partner agency, that hurts my heart. So I know what it would be like. You'd really have to hustle and increase your fundraising, and not every organization has that capacity. So then they might have to scale back their program. So we don't want that to happen. We want to close that gap and meet those goals.
That's right. So how can we close that gap? How can donors give?
So donors can give by going to our website, which is unitedwayirc.org. Right on the homepage is a link to donate. You could also mail a check made out to United Way. Our P.O. Box is 1960, and that's in Vero Beach 32961. If you don't have resources, like us on Facebook, share our posts. Those will have links to the campaign, and maybe your friends locally or far and wide can participate in this Close the Gap. So even by spreading the word, you're helping meet those goals.
Okay, very good. Spread the word, close the gap. UnitedWay.org. Jessica, what else do we need to talk about that we haven't hit yet with regarding United Way?
Well, I talked a lot about the funded partners and a little bit about VITA. We also host a volunteer IndianRiverCounty.org. So if you're looking for volunteer opportunities to get involved, that's a great resource. We also, this month, we're getting ready to go through our disaster preparedness training. So United Way is there in times of need. After a crisis such as a hurricane, or even during COVID, they were administering a lot of the funds and resources towards those needs during the pandemic. I think I like to share the story just to really bring it home is my little sister from Big Brothers Big Sisters has been a beneficiary of a lot of these programs, and now she's a Publix employee donating through the workplace campaign. So it's just really full circle. And so her dollar is being pooled with donors giving $500,000, $10,000, whatever it may be, to help meet the needs of the community and serve the ALICE population and help everybody succeed.
That's terrific. All right. Very good. Jessica Schmitt, United Way of Indian River County. I want to thank you for joining us today.
Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah. Everybody go to unitedway.org. Please give what you can. Help close that gap.
Yep, UnitedWayIRC.org.
Thank you. UnitedWayIRC.org. That's the website. Go help close the gap. United Way of Indian River County needs your help, especially this year. All right. Thanks a lot, Jessica.
Thank you.
All right. Everybody else, take care. We'll see you next time. And thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. I'm Jesse Krisky. We'll see you next time on the Spot.